D-Day was a very notorious time for American, British, and Canadian troops on the front line. The D in D-Day is also referred to as Death Day. It shaped history as we know it and left remnants of it on the battle where it took place. On June 6, 1944, American, British, and Canadian soldiers arrived on the beachfront of Normandy, France. The military have also called this Operation Neptune. The Nazi forces were already ready to release all hell when the troops arrived on the beach. These Nazi troops were located strategically on top of the cliffs, where it oversaw the beach, so it was what you would consider an upward battle. The Allied forces, Canadian, British, and American, had little to no cover on the beach, so therefore over 9,000 Allied forces were slaughtered that day. One particular soldier, named Sergeant Thomas Valence of the 116th Infantry Regiment of the U.S. 29th Division, have recalled that most of the troops that were slaughtered in this battle were inexperienced recruits with no combat experience, totally unprepared for what awaited them. Sergeant Valence also recalls doing what he was trained to do, which was go forward, crouch down, and fire. The problem with that was he did not know where to fire or what to fire at. There was so much shooting, explosions, and smoke that only traces of the gunfire from the Nazi forces were being seen, but nothing else. The Nazi forces were also not the main concern, but the water that was rushing into the beach was so violent and kept knocking down the other troops. As what Sergeant Valence states, the fellows I was with were being hit so rapidly that it became a struggle to stay on one's feet. Sergeant Thomas Valence was shot on his hand and in his thigh, but was alive. He eventually collapsed on the beach though. One of his fellow soldiers happened to roll over to him and said his final words, "Sergeant, they're leaving us here to die like rats, just like rats." With most of his company being wiped out, Sergeant Thomas Valence was sitting up against a wall of some sort and watched as blown up bodies washed ashore. He also says that his part of the invasion was done. The residents of the villages of modern-day Normandy and Normandy itself reported seeing ghosts of the soldiers of the 116th Regiment, which was of course Sergeant Thomas Valence's regiment. A lady and her grandmother, which names are not told, were venturing into Normandy to admire the other villages and to where the Battle of Normandy happened. They were just gathering the sights and just adventuring around the villages. The lady's grandmother fell asleep one night and awoke to a strange sound of a man with a deeper sounding voice saying, help me, my leg." Then it would suddenly stop. Nothing but silence filled the night. The next night, the grandmother woke again to see, not to hear, but see a much more clearer figure. It was a captain of the 116th Division. Apparently he was part of the first waves that hit the beach first. They later recalled what he told her. He lost his leg when he was going up the beach. He was hit by a mortar and then was shot in the head. She also said, "From that day on, I was scared stiff." This strange phenomenon was no strange phenomenon to the people living in the villages though. In fact, the people have accepted them to be part of the landscape. It adds history to it. The tourists who went there have reported hearing German voices shouting orders and gunfire that was also heard during D-Day. The locals are also used to hearing cries, moanings, and shouts in the villages. Also, they're used to seeing Allied and German forces on the beach itself. The eerie part of it is some people have reported to stay away from the beaches because they felt as if they were being watched. The actual town of Normandy locals say they seen the ghost-like figures dressed in full gear walking down the streets of Normandy in broad daylight. So how do you guys feel about this? Does it make any sense? Could these ghost-like figures be real? Could they be true? Or could they all just be in people's heads? We will never know, would we? Unless we go to Normandy ourselves and witness the ghosts. of the 116th Division. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you guys did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. What the freak did I just say? If you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. What the? I hope you guys did enjoy that video. If you guys did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for some more content like this. If you guys do have many more suggestions, please let me know. I would love to cover as many stories as I can. This one was very fun to write, and I do love history, I love scary, and I love mysterious, so please send your comments, and I will be sure to read them all. Thank you guys for your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and always let out your inner chronicle.